Have you ever stopped for a second to really think about the invisible systems surrounding us every single day? I mean, we completely take them for granted. Okay, let's dive into this, because what we're going to uncover today is honestly pretty mind-blowing.
Seriously, are we ever truly alone? When you're just talking near your smart speaker in your living room or carrying your phone around in your pocket all day, do you ever get that creeping feeling that you're being watched? Well, the truth is, our everyday smart devices are essentially connecting us directly to these vast, completely invisible surveillance networks all around the globe. But here is the deeply unsettling reality we're unpacking in this explainer. This invisible world, it isn't just watching us anymore, it's actively being weaponized. The technology surrounding us has fundamentally and quietly escalated from just passive observation to active physical destruction. So, let's start at the beginning. Phase 1. Passive surveillance. This passive surveillance is exactly how governments and intelligence agencies quietly gather our data, and they do it hiding right in plain sight. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the stark contrast. Think about a normal New York City skyscraper. You've got glass windows, bright lights, bustling everyday office life, but then right in the middle of it all, you have 33 Thomas Street. It is a 500-foot-tall, entirely windowless concrete monolith. It's built to literally withstand a nuclear blast. Officially, it's just an AT&T telecommunications building. But leaked documents actually revealed it as a top-secret NSA mass surveillance hub, codenamed Titan Point.
And from inside this brutalist fortress, intelligence is gathered on just a staggering scale. You have programs like Project Blarney targeting global banks and foreign nations, while Project Skid Row captures huge quantities of everyday user data. We're talking private emails, chats, browser history, the whole shebang. It even vacuums updated directly from space via satellite. And despite all the legal boundaries you'd think exist, programs run from hubs exactly like this manage to collect 151 million American phone records in a single year.
But, it's not all high-tech digital surveillance. Believe it or not, some of the most effective data transmission happens over old-school shortwave radio. They're called number stations. These are unbreakable, encrypted analog broadcasts of just robotic voices reading numbers into the static. As an anonymous UK intelligence agent once famously noted, number stations are exactly what you think they are, and that's all I'll say about it. The espionage is literally out in the open, right there on the dial, if you just know where to listen.
Which brings us to Phase 2, invisible physical threats.
Because, as it turns out, the machines didn't just stop at listening to us or transmitting secret codes. They evolved to physically touch and manipulate us. Take a look at this exact number, 19 hertz. It's what scientists call infrasound, meaning it sits just below the threshold of what human ears can actually hear. But crucially, 19 hertz happens to be the exact natural resonant frequency of the human eye.
We literally call this the fear frequency. When you are exposed to 19 hertz, your eyes actually vibrate in your skull. This can create visual hallucinations, cold sweats, and just these intense, unexplained feelings of dread. A scientist named Vic Tandy actually discovered this by accident. A totally silent exhaust fan in his lab caused a metal foil sword he had to start vibrating wildly on its own. He felt a terrifying presence, even saw a ghost-like figure. But it turned out to simply be the physical effect of invisible sound waves vibrating his eyeballs. No ghosts, just physics. Now, if 19 hertz causes fear, other frequencies do much, much worse. Sound waves at 7 hertz can actually rupture human organs by matching their natural resonance. And we've seen the real-world impact of directed energy with Havana syndrome, right? That's where directed pulse radio frequencies and microwaves reportedly caused severe neurological damage to diplomats. Add to this military subliminal messaging that completely bypasses the conscious brain, or massive facilities like HAARP up in Alaska, which beams billions of watts into the ionosphere with the potential to manipulate weather patterns and even human mind states. These frequencies prove beyond a doubt that the unseen world can be and is weaponized against the human body.
Escalating further, we hit Phase 3, cybernetic sabotage.
This is that terrifying crossover moment. It's where digital code leaps out of the screen to cause violent physical destruction in the real world. This number right here, 4, represents a massive watershed moment in digital warfare. For some context, in the cybersecurity world, finding just one zero-day exploit is basically a 1 in a million event. It's the holy grail. The Stuxnet virus, it possessed 4 of them. A zero-day exploit, just to be clear, is a software vulnerability that is completely unknown to the original developer, meaning they have 0 days of protection against an attack.
To deploy a virus like Stuxnet with 4 of these, all while using stolen digital security certificates, it was essentially like successfully robbing a bank vault that is locked completely inside of another bank vault. The level of sophistication was absolutely unprecedented.
Let's move to and see how this builds into actual real-world sabotage. First, Stuxnet managed to bypass a completely disconnected, air-gapped network using an infected USB drive. Second, once inside, it quietly infiltrated the Natanz nuclear facility in Iran. Third, it specifically hunted for and hijacked the Siemens programmable logic controllers, basically the mini-computers running the heavy physical machinery. And finally, it subtly altered the spin rates to violently destroy over 1,000 physical uranium centrifuges. And it did all of this while sending completely fake everything is fine signals back to the human operators in the control room.
As cyber experts neutrally pointed out at the time, Stuxnet was the first time a nation-state developed proactive, offensive weaponized code that could do actual physical damage. It caused a massive geopolitical shift. And honestly, the most chilling part of all this? That code is out in the wild now. It's been studied, it's been copied, and it's inspiring even more devastating hidden threats, like Nitro Zeus, a program designed to target entire civilian power grids and infrastructure system.
Which brings us to our absolute climax. Phase 4. The end of secrets.
If invisible code ripping apart physical infrastructure isn't unsettling enough, we now arrive at the looming quantum apocalypse. For all of history, humanity has relied on math and logic to hide its secrets. Look at this timeline. It shows that entire evolution, from ancient substitution ciphers in Egypt to World War II one-time pads, right up to the modern prime number RSA encryption that currently protects every single bank account and private message you have. But all of that culminates in Y2Q, the quantum threat. This is the exact moment when machines simply stop caring about our traditional math.
And this brilliantly illustrates why the threat is so immense. It's all about how the processing fundamentally changes. Traditional computer bits are binary, a 1 or a 0. That means they attempt to crack a password one combination at a time. But quantum bits, or qubits, are entirely different. They exist as a 1 and a 0 simultaneously. It's basically the difference between a coin sitting on a table showing heads or tails versus a coin spinning rapidly on its edge. Because of this bizarre physics, quantum computers can attempt every single combination all at once.
This state is called superposition. It's the ability of a qubit to exist in multiple states at once. And what that means for us is that it renders complex modern encryption completely and entirely breakable in minutes instead of billions of years. When quantum computers, like Google's Project Willow, fully scale up, it means the immediate end of security for global banking, dating apps, and your highly private medical records. Everything is suddenly wide open.
And we can't just worry about this in the future, because the urgency of this threat is happening right now. Shadow groups and intelligence agencies are actively hoarding highly encrypted data today. All your old emails, your private messages from years ago, your crypto wallets, they are sitting perfectly safely in databases right now, just waiting for the day a quantum computer comes online to retroactively unlock the whole vault.
The highest levels of global finance and government, they already know this is coming, and they are taking desperate, drastic measures to survive the quantum era. We're talking about a return to physical paper records, relying on analog, human bike couriers instead of sending an email, and building completely offline air-gapped concrete bunkers just to discuss matters they simply cannot risk ever being digitized. Which leaves us with a pretty wild reality to process. The invisible systems around us, from windowless skyscrapers spying on our calls, to invisible sound waves altering our minds, to digital code destroying steel, and now quantum computing erasing our digital locks. They are all colliding. So I leave you with this final thought. How will you navigate a world where all past, present, and future secrets are completely public?